What's going on, everybody? It's Professor Gnome, and today we're going to be looking at a pretty interesting deck that was actually able to get Day 2 at the most recent regionals, and that's actually the Bloodmoon and the Iron Valiant EX combo, where we can utilize the Bloodmoon Ursaluna EX, but this is primarily focusing around the Bloodmoon Ursaluna Basic that is just a fighting type, because of the fact that it has the ability Battle Hardened. And what that does is that when you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, during your turn you can attach up to 2 fighting energy from your hand to this Pokemon, making it so its Mad Bite attack for 2 fighting and a colorless really easy, because as soon as you play it down, you can play the 2 fighting energy from your hand, play 1 more energy, and then start attacking, which is really good because it does 100 damage, but also it does 30 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. This is really strong, specifically because of the fact that we get to use Iron Valiant. Iron Valiant has the Tachyon Bits, where during your turn, if this Pokemon moves from the bench to the active spot, you can put 2 damage counters on any Pokemon that you want. So if we put 2 damage counters on our opponent, then we're doing 60 extra damage. And if we're able to put 2 or 4 damage counters on our opponent, then we're hitting for 220 damage, which is really good coming from Bloodmoon Ursaluna, especially because it's pretty easy to swap our Iron Valiants out and get a ton of damage down. Latias EX made this deck a lot better because our basics won't have a retreat cost, which does make it a little bit easier for us, as well as the fact that we're running 4 copies of Switch Cart. We're running the Prime Catcher, and we're also running the regular Switch, so we're going to be moving around, jumping all over the place. We also do have ourselves Jet Energies to move ourselves around, and we have the Penny as well, so we're going to be able to jump all over the place. We also do run the new Surfer, which is not a great card, but in this deck it's actually very good, because what it allows you to do is switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon, and if you do, then you draw cards until you have 5 in hand. So if you have a low hand, you're able to Surfer, you're able to move your cards around the way you want to, and that helps us out a lot. We also do have the Bloodmoon Ursaluna to help close out games later on, where hitting for that 240 can be really powerful. We can Thorton into it if we have to. So there's a lot of things that we're able to do, and this deck actually utilizes some cards that you don't really see as often, like Lana's Aid. So yeah, that's the list, guys. Be sure to let me know what you think of the list and any changes that you would make to it. Let me know how you would run the deck. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I want to give a shout out to the channel members. Thank you guys so much for that additional level of support. It really does go a long way. I also want to very quickly give a shout that this coming Saturday, there is our first Christmas Cup, which is a completely free-to-play tournament. If you want to enter, it's on limitless.com. It's completely free to enter. There is prizing, so if you're interested in that, go down to the description and all the information will be there. Just follow the link onto the Limitless page and all the details will be listed there for you to read and sign up if you're interested or are available. We'd love to have you. Outside of that, there's also a link in the description to the community Discord, as well as the channel Twitter page. So be sure to check those out if you're interested in either one of those. And yeah, that's just about it. So we'll jump into the game 1 in a second, and I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're in game number 1, and we're going to be going first. With this deck, going first is a little bit, like, more awkward, but it's not that bad because, again, like, okay, it all really depends on the matchup. And depending on your matchup, it can be really good to go first because you're able to snipe things out with the Tachyon Bits and be like really annoying. In some cases, it's better to go second for that same reason. It's really just matchup dependent, I guess. But we'll see what our opponent's playing. We do have a pretty decent hand to get what we want to. We see a Latias EX. It doesn't really tell us what we're playing against. What we'll probably do here is we'll go Nest Ball, search out our Squawk that will allow us to get a new hand. What we'll do from here is go Ultra Ball, get rid of these to grab ourselves an Ursaluna. We'll be able to play this down. Go Battle Hardened. Attaching the energy that we do want. We'll go Earthen Vessel. Grab ourselves 2 more. Yeah, that's fine. Grab ourselves 2 more. We can attach Return and Squawk, getting us our Latias EX, which is like the main thing that we want to be able to get into. And then from here, we'll hold off. I don't think we have to worry about our Iron Valiant getting knocked out. I'm not sure what we're exactly up against. It could be Miraidon. If it is, then our Iron Valiant could be knocked out, but if that's the case, we're not as worried, because we already have Fezandipiti in hand. Okay, so it is Snorlax block. That's a little bit more annoying. Because we're going to have to, like, penny around. Well, we have a bunch of Switch Carts, actually, so it won't even be that bad. We do have 4 copies of Switch Cart, 4 copies of just Switch, as well as Prime Catchers, so... and the energy switches as well. So, actually, we're completely fine, and we do hit it for weakness. Unless, are they just playing, like, a cloth box? Yeah, actually, I think that's what they're doing. They're playing cloth box where they just have a backup Snorlax. I wouldn't play the Snorlax now, though. They can get good damage off, though, because you go Void Return. Like, the goal here for them is to get into the Pecharunt and the Ancient Booster Capsule. You poison with the Ancient Booster Capsule. This will do 70 damage on the Void Return. And then you can switch to, like, your Snorlax. If you didn't get into Pecharunt. Obviously, you'd want to go Pecharunt because that would turn this into, like, 80 damage, and you get to do just a ton. In this case, though, it doesn't really matter. We're actually going to be able to just go... I think I just go Counter Catcher here. Pull this up. Bring in Iron Valiant. I have so many tools to switch with that I'm not as worried about, like, dealing with the Snorlax. With the 20 damage... Alright, our prize cards aren't really all that matter. With the 20 damage, I'm hitting for what? 160, then double that for weakness, so that's fine. So yeah, I can just retreat, go into Bloodmoon, hit for weakness. I don't really want to play my supporters or anything like that just yet, because both are completely fine for whatever I'll need on the following turn. I get my 2 prizes. The Iono is kind of irrelevant, but the Night Stretcher is actually not bad. The Snorlax doesn't really hold much relevance. Yeah, even if they go Void Return. This is an interesting deck. It's like an interesting play off of the, like, cloth variation. I don't think it's the best way to play. The Iono is fine. We have so many things in our deck that, like, will end up kind of getting to what we want anyway. Radiant Sneasler for a little bit more damage. This is a really neat idea. So there's another 70. Then add up the 30. So it is whittling us down. There's our Night Stretcher. We don't really need to have, like, another Iron Valiant or anything like that. So at this point, I'm going to go get rid of this. Grab myself 1 energy. go concealed cards. I can place the PokéStop down. That could benefit them more than me. I'm not really sure. I feel like it's fine for me to do, though. And then from this point, we'll go Switch Cart, heal myself up a little bit, make it just a little bit more annoying for them to KO me. And then from here, we'll go Mad Bite, knocking this out, because again, we just hit for weakness anyway. So I don't even actually need the Tachyon bits in this type of situation. There's the Earthen Vessel again. I guess now we just look for boss's orders to speed this game up. I assume that's the play to make. This is definitely an interesting variation. I don't think it's better than the variation that already exists. But in fairness, we're also counter matchup. Like, we're in a really good counter matchup. I think they were better going for the Petrant plays earlier, instead of going for, like, the Snorlax block. Because now they're in a situation where the... Like, look at how much more damage they would have been doing. Alright, so we'll bring in the Iron Valiant. Like I said, I think we just look for a boss's orders here. So I don't think there's actually anything to get. What do we want to do? I think we go concealed cards first. Draw 2. There's nothing we can actually get with the Earthen Vessel. Oop, almost messed that up. We'll go Retrieval. Grab ourselves the 2 energy. Place this down. Battle Hardened. Yep, and our opponent's just going to go ahead and concede. Because we do knock that out, and eventually... Well, pretty much what the play would have been is that we knock this out, the Petrant and the active. We go down to 2 prize cards. We could, on that same turn, like before actually taking the knockout, we play the research down, pretty much guarantee that we get ourselves into the boss's orders on the following turn, and then we win the game from there. Because we just boss up any 2 prizer that we feel like. But yeah, that's going to be game number 1. Pretty interesting, fun deck. Unfortunately, we do kind of counter their strategy very, very hard. I'd be curious to play that back with a different deck and see how strong that Zoroark deck is. But yeah, that's going to be game number 1, and we'll jump into game number 2 in a second. Peace. Alright, we're in a game number 2, and our opponent's going to be going first. We open Greninja, Iron Valiant. We can just leave the Greninja out for now, though. We'll see what our opponent's playing in a moment. We do have the Switch Cart available to us, as well as the Iron Bundle, which is nice, and an Iono, so we can get ourselves into some new cards. We have the Greninja as well to draw with. Chen-Pao. Interesting. Haven't seen a Chen-Pao list in a long time. But it's nice because Chen-Pao's HP is pretty low, so we will be able to knock it out without having like too many issues. We're needing to stack too many bits up. We'll see what our opponent goes for. I think our line of play on our next turn is going to be placing the Iron Bundle down, because we will want to hold on to that. Placing the Iron Valiant, using our Switch Cart to bring the Iron Valiant in. Okay. Pretty much a nothing turn from our opponent. Pretty annoying, honestly. We'll go Switch Cart, bring the Iron Valiant in. Drop the Tachyon bits, and then we'll go Iono first before we go Greninja, because we want to dig a little bit deeper into our deck after all of this. So we can go Earthen Vessel here. get rid of the Nest Ball. Or, sorry, not the Nest Ball, the Research. We'll go Earthen Vessel again. Just looking to thin our deck. We'll go Greninja, where we get an Ultra Ball. We'll go Ultra Ball here. Use 2 energy. Grab ourselves the Ursaluna. We can use the Energy Retrieval again. That way we can play the Ursaluna down. Go Battle Hardened. Attach all that. Go for the Nest Ball to grab. We would love the Squawkabilly, but it looks like it's prized, so we're just going to grab the Latias at this point. Go Energy down. Retreat. Bring this in and attack for 160. Where we almost get the KO. If we had Squawkabilly there, we could have like closed out the game. Under the impression that this is Squawkabilly, we get ourselves a new hand. We get Iron Valiant again with any Switch card, and then we did enough damage to win the game. But it looks like our opponent's pretty bricked if they are going... Yeah, they're just going to go ahead and concede. So, kind of worthless game 2, if I'm honest, but we'll jump into game 3 and hope for a better one. And I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're in the next game, and we're going to be going first. We open an okay start. We'll have our Latias in the active with our Iron Valiant in the back. We will have access to Nest Ball to get us the Squawkabilly, as well as being able to potentially use the Iono if we decide to, but we probably won't. We'll just end up probably just going Squawkabilly, see what we get off of that, maybe a Research after. We see Cleffa. That's not bad because we can actually knock out the Cleffa with 2 rotations of Iron Valiant, take a single prize card, and then potentially get an attack off. But we'll see what the matchup looks like. Because if it's Charizard and they end up going like... Yeah, so I think it's going to be Charizard. So if they lead Cleffa here, end up with like Pidgey and Charmander, then what we can do is look for 2 Iron Valiant rotations, knock out the Cleffa. That would force a Pidgey or Charmander in. And then even if we don't have damage counters on it, we would do enough with Bloodmoon to knock that out as well. Actually, we would still do enough to knock out Fezandipiti if we hit it for weakness. Okay. So there's our second Iron Valiant. That's actually very good for us. We can go Nest Ball here. Grab ourselves the Squawkabilly. We'll go Retreat. Bring in the Iron Valiant. Tachyon Bits onto the Cleffa. Go Switch. Tachyon Bits again onto the Cleffa. This does get us a prize card, as well as making it so I don't believe that I'll activate Fezandipiti. Oh, it does. Alright, that's on me. But we can actually knock this Pidgey out potentially. We could go Nest Ball for another Iron Valiant. I think that's fine to do for now. We go Squawkabilly. I do want to get one more energy. Yeah, this is where if I had gone Earthen Vessel to get the energy in the discard pile, I would be in a really, really good spot. Unfortunately, I didn't, which is on me. If I go Surfer here, that won't draw me enough cards yet. I think I go Ursaluna here. Battle Hardened. Get my 1 energy, go Surfer. Bring in the other Iron Valiant for now. Get to go Tachyon Bits. I'm not too worried about that. I'm just going to place the damage onto the Fezandipiti. Guarantee myself the Bloodmoon knockout on a future turn. And pass. Because I'll have what I need for an Iron Valiant rotation to knock out the Pidgey on the following turn. They do have Rare Candy for Pidgeot. I still think knocking out the Cleffa was the right play to make. Honestly, we would have been in a phenomenal position had I gone Earthen Vessel there. Because I could have gone Earthen Vessel for, and then Night Stretcher, one of the energies back up. Had 2 energy onto the Bloodmoon Ursaluna. I still didn't get anything. Like, I still would be short 1 energy, but would be in a position where we could actually start attacking. Like, we could utilize the boss, go into the Fezandipiti, and things like that. Now we have to, like, manually attach energies, and that kind of sucks. But it's not too bad. We can start pinging the Charmander. And just stacking up damage on that, make the Charizard knockout a little bit easier later on. We do have an Iono. I'm going to go ahead and retreat this. Go Tachyon Bits onto the Charmander. We'll go Switch Cart. Bring this back in. Tachyon Bits again onto the Charmander. Then we'll just go Iono here. We do get a Penny, which is pretty nice, because on our following turns we can actually pick up the Squawkabilly, get rid of the liability. We do have a Jet Energy as well. We'll leave the PokéStop down for this turn, because if they don't retreat out the Fezandipiti, we're in a pretty good position. We'll see what they get after, you know, the Iono. They can go Buddy Puff in here for like a Charmander Duskull. Okay, just Duskull. I feel like they would have won a Charmander, but maybe not. Okay, it was already in their hand. Nest Ball for, what, another Duskull maybe? Rotom V. Wow, they're really behind. Putting up the Rotom V is really bad. They get quick search for Arven here, go Rare Candy Sealstone. Okay, they already had the Rare Candy, that's fine. I mean, the main thing here is, like, we just ignore the Charizard. We look to boss up the... we look to just boss up the Fezandipiti, take the knockout there, and knock out the Rotom V. But with the 40 damage already on this, the fact that we only took 1 prize card, so unless they knock out the Duskull, they're only hitting for 210, which means we do live here. We'll be able to retreat, go Tachyon Bits, make that even easier. Yeah, so I think we naturally retreat, we bring this in. We could, in theory, do a full rotation to put the damage onto this Duskull and knock that out, putting us to, like, closer in prizes, but I think we just want to put that extra damage down for now. we'll go PokéStop, spin that. We get an Ultra Ball. That's not really all that relevant. We do lose the Lana's Care. What I'll do is go Penny, pick up the Squawkabilly just to remove it as a liability for now. We can go Ursaluna here. We will do enough damage to get the knockout. And then from here, I think we go Care for Lana's and a Surfer. Yeah, I think that's fine. We go Mad Bite. Knock this out, take 2 prizes. And as long as we can get into... Okay, that works. Because we can force the retreat out with Iron Bundle. We should do enough damage at this point to knock this out, and that does mean that they won't actually be able to utilize the Duskull, or we can just do a triple rotation of Iron Valiant to get the knockout as well. So we're really just looking to find a way to draw into 2 energy. We can go Ultra Ball on our following turn to look for something as well, because we won't really need the Squawkabilly anymore, as well as whatever we draw into if it's not like an energy. If we get knocked out and we get the Lana's Care, that would actually be really nice. Or Lana's Aid, rather. But the benefit here is, like, we're doing enough damage that even if they knock this out and we're not able to make a new Ursaluna on this turn, it's not that big of a deal because we can rotate our Iron Valiants, potentially, take that Duskull knockout, go down to 2 prizes, and either look for a boss onto the Rotom V, or just wait until we have energies, go Bloodmoon Ursaluna, and then take the knockout. Or it'll be even easier if they go Dusclops, because we'll get an extra prize card, so that'll give us potentially more options. But also it'll set us to that 2 prize card range, so we don't even have to be that complicated about it. Like at that point, we can look for Prime Catcher and an energy. We can look for a lot of other things. Alright. So we'll lead Latias, I guess. It doesn't really matter. We do get our Switch Cart. I don't think we need either of these at this point. So I think we Nest Ball for Fez. Use Fezandipiti. Try to get us to draw a little bit deeper. Okay, that's really, really good. So we can go Earthen Vessel here. Get rid of the Ultra Ball, draw ourselves 2 cards. What's left in our deck? There's our Aid, Prime Catcher. So a couple more options. So what we can do is go Bloodmoon Ursaluna, attach the 2 energy. We'll PokéStop first. Alright. A little unlucky that we lose out on the Surfer, but it's actually not that big a deal because we can go Night Stretcher for the Bloodmoon Ursaluna later. I think from here what we'll do is... Let's count the damage just so we're sure. So it's 270 with 6 damage counters. So 100 plus that. So what, 30 more for each damage counter. So 3 times 6, 120. Yeah, we should be right. So we retreat this, bring in Iron Valiant, I actually don't think dropping the damage counters on anything else really matters at this point. Because we're just going to look for a boss. So we'll go Switch Cart into our Bloodmoon. Attach the energy. Hit for 340. Knocking out the Charizard, taking 2 prizes. Which is a research and an energy, which is really good for us. Now, obviously, we would love, like, Lana's Care. That would just make this... Or Lana's Aid. I keep saying Lana's Care. Lana's Aid. That would obviously make this a lot better for us. But they can't Duskull, like I said. We're really just looking to be able to get 2 energies onto the Bloodmoon. And if we can just get ourselves into, like, Prime Catcher, that would work just as well. We could either knock out the active with a attack from Bloodmoon into... Alright. Getting Iono down to 1 is a little bit rough, but also... Okay, the Earthen Vessel is nice, because we can discard something, get ourselves the 2 energy we need, and then all we need after that is a couple Switch cards and a... like a Night Stretcher to pick up the Ursaluna. So that's also fine. Okay, there's the Lana's Care. That's still really good. So what we can do is go Care here, grab this, and 2 energy. That lets us prep the bear. So we can go 2 energies onto that. And then from here, what we'll do is go flip the script. We do get ourselves a Switch Cart as well as an Earthen Vessel. We'll keep the Thorton for now. Because, alright, let's say they take 1 more prize, they go down to 3. We could just look for a late game Thorton. So we don't really need the Night Stretcher at that point. Let's go PokéStop. Okay, we get ourselves another Switch. That's pretty nice. So we'll retreat. Bring in the Iron Valiant. 20. Bring this in for 40. And then what we can do is, at this point, we'll go Night Stretcher. Grab ourselves a Fighting Energy. Attach this down to 290. We are going to be a little bit short if we go for the attack here. I think the play to make is just to go Switch Cart, Tachyon Bits 1 more time for 60 and pass. Because we'll have Bloodmoon in order to attack with if they knock out the Iron Valiant. We don't need the Iron Valiants anymore. And having the option to attack with Bloodmoon does make things a little bit easier for the future. They could go Boss's Orders here, knock out the Bloodmoon. That would bring them down to 3 prize cards. If they do that, then that's also fine, because it puts us in a position where at 3 prize cards remaining, they can only take 2, which puts them down to 1, and we go Thorton, knock out the active with a Bloodmoon. So this is just kind of like our safest play we can make. There you go, Counter Catcher. Yep. So they knock out the Bloodmoon again, putting them down to 3 prize cards like we said. We'll lead Latias all over again. We get the energy retrieval. So we'll go energy retrieval here for 2 energy. Earthen Vessel. Get rid of 1. Just to thin our deck by 1 card. See what else we have still remaining. We could top deck a Bloodmoon. There's 1 Switch Cart, 2 Switch, a Prime Catcher, and double Night Stretcher. Let's see. 70. So we'll retreat real quick. Bring in the Iron Valiant. We'll go another 20 onto this. Flip the script. Because if we can just get ourselves into... Okay. Is there... If we can get Night Stretcher here, perfect. So we can win from this position. We'll go Night Stretcher. Grab ourselves another Bloodmoon Ursaluna. Play that down. We'll go Battle Hardened. Energy Retrieval. Grab 2. Attach. Drop the Switch. Bring in our Bloodmoon. And just for fun, we'll go Boss's Orders. And pull up the Rotom. Hit it for weakness, because why not? We actually don't even need damage on it, and that's kind of why it's funny to do. And grab our last prize. But yeah, that's going to be game, what is that, 3 now? Yeah, because the second one was kind of dumb. And we'll do one more, and I'll see you guys in game number, technically 4, but kind of like 3, in a moment. Peace. Alright, we're in a game number 1, or what? Not even number 1, number 5. What, 4? What? Ignore that. But, yeah, it's 4. Why am I being dumb? Alright, we opened triple Earthen Vessel and a Research, which isn't super great, though we're up against Miraidon, and that's actually not bad for us. Mostly because of the fact that Bloodmoon Ursaluna does hit for weakness, which means we need very little to actually take the knockouts we're looking for. The fact that we also are going to be... Sorry, I'm hiccuping. Also, the fact that we're going second is kind of odd, because you would think that Miraidon would want to go first to try to get as much damage on the board as possible, as quickly as possible, and like apply early pressure. But in this case, ooh, they have the card art. That's cool. In this case, though, it doesn't really matter. I'm not too worried about Iron Hands. They can knock out our Bloodmoons for 2 prizes, but we can knock that out just as easily. And if we're taking the first 2 prizes of the game, it's kind of going to become irrelevant. And it does look like we'll be able to do that. We'll go Earthen Vessel. We'll get rid of the Iono because we don't really need that. Grab ourselves 2 energy. And then what we can do is go Radiant Greninja here. We get ourselves the retrieval, so we'll go Earthen Vessel one more time. Grab ourselves 2 more. Go Ultra Ball. Get rid of these. We can be really greedy here. Grab ourselves Bloodmoon. And go Research. And I'm not sure if that's what I want to do. Because like I said, it is a very, very greedy play. But I think it's the one I want to make. Because I don't really need the rest of my hand. So, yeah, I think I go Bloodmoon here. Battle Hardened. Get 2 energy. Earthen Vessel again. Get rid of the Night Stretcher. Get myself the last energy from my deck, so just try to thin as much as I possibly can. Bring this in. We don't really care about playing the Switch Cart. Okay, so this also works really well. We can go Squawkabilly here. We'll ignore this. We do have... Do we need to play the Night Stretcher for anything? Not really. We can play the Switch, but again, that doesn't really get us anything right in this moment. So I'm going to go Squawk again. Dig a little deeper. Perfect. So I can go Switch, bring in the Iron Valiant, Tachyon Bits onto the Miraidon, go Switch again, bring in Ursaluna, go Mad Bite, knock that out, take 2 prizes. We get Lana's Care and a Teal Mask. With Lana's Care, that's actually really good for us because of the fact that it will allow us to get back the Blood Moon and the energies we need. Though we do already have that, so we can hold on for now. But also, if they're gonna have to play the Bravery Charm onto the Raikou V on this turn, because if they don't, we actually won't even need Weakness to knock out the Raikou. We can just go Blood Moon, take another 2 prize cards. And I think they're going to attach the Seal Stone because they want to go... They want to power up the Iron Hands here. They do get 2, so if they can get themselves into the double colorless and retreat, they will be able to... Well, Amp won't actually even KO us. It's only one... Yeah, it's only 120. Down to 100 if they go double colorless. So it's not even an option. Now up to 130, still does not KO us. And we can go Energy Retrieval on the next turn, just for 2 energies to go Radiant Greninja. They do go Bravery Charm onto the Raikou. I thought they would go Seal Stone. I'll be kind of surprised if they don't knock out the... I'll be surprised if they don't knock us out this turn, but the way they're playing makes it kind of seem like they're not going to. Because they're putting a lot of their resources into getting the Iron Hands prepped. Because they could go Counter Catcher and pull up Squawkabilly. Go Amp onto the Squawk, take 3. They would then be ahead, but it would put them at kind of an awkward... It would put them at kind of an awkward position. They also haven't really drawn anything, and they remove their option for what they can use Seal Stone with, and they attach for turn. So I guess they're going to bring in Iron Hands and go Arm Press here. So they go Arm Press. If we can get 1 Iron Valiant in, then we'll be in a really good position. I'm going to just lead the Greninja. We top deck Ultra Ball. That's actually not bad for us at all. We'll go Energy Retrieval. We'll go Concealed Cards here for 1 energy. We get another energy Retrieval as well as a Night Stretcher. We'll hold on to the Stretcher. We can go Retrieval. But I do want to hold on to that. I think what I get rid of... Actually, I go Retrieval here for 2. Go Ultra Ball, get rid of 1. And the Ogerpon. Grab myself Fezandipiti. To draw a little bit deeper. I am being pretty greedy here because going Latias would guarantee me. But I want to be able to break this. Which I was able to do. And I was able to get into a Nest Ball, which does mean that I'll be able to get my Latias into the full rotation and kind of go from there. So everything's kind of going the way that I wanted it to. Which is a little bit of luck, but also a little bit of knowing what my odds are. So then from here, what I can do is retreat. Bring in the Iron Valiant. Go Tachyon Bits. Drop that down. And then from here, I'll go Ursaluna. Be able to play this down. And then I'll go PokéStop. Perfect. Where I can go Pad for these two. I can just go ahead and knock this out. Taking 2 prizes. Putting my opponent in a really rough position overall. Because I can take these. Perfect. Honestly, that couldn't have gone better. So between Prime Catcher, Surfer, having the Night Stretcher as well as Fezandipiti to draw myself more cards, and even the Lana's Aid, like the Lana's Aid does make this kind of over because I can pick back up the Bloodmoon Ursaluna. I can grab myself the 2 fighting energy. I'll lead with the Radiant Greninja. I can retreat into 1 Iron Valiant. Put enough damage counters down that because I have for weakness, I literally KO everything on the board. And yeah, there's nothing they can do to win from this position. Because even if they were to like randomly decide to knock out the Iron Valiant because it's our only one on the board, which isn't great board mapping for me, but because I hit for weakness, I only need the 1. But typically you would want more than 1 Iron Valiant. If you were playing in a different matchup, you would not be able to have you like I'm being greedy with like the Greninja and the Fezandipiti and Squawk all on the same board without going like Penny or something like that first. But it's not the biggest deal. Because like I said, we hit for weakness, so we can afford it. But I can always Night Stretcher the Iron Valiant back up. What does that do? Oh, right, that's boss, but only for basics. And then it also makes them confused, which is kind of cool. So yeah, they made the play of going Iron Valiant, which is totally fine for us because we lead Greninja, and like I said, we have the Night Stretcher. So we go Night Stretcher, pick up the Iron Valiant, not the Energy, the Iron Valiant. We place that down, go ahead and Fez just to see if we can get anything else. There's a whole bunch of other Iron Valiants, so it would not have mattered. We can go ahead and Switch Cart, place the damage onto the Raikou, go for the switch, bring in our Bloodmoon, and attack to finish the game. So there we go. That's going to be our final game. Obviously 1 was kind of a throwaway, but 3 were real and against like actual competitive decks. So that's something. But yeah, that's going to be game number 3. Definitely a interesting Miraidon matchup. But, you know, it is what it is. We'll, you know, I'll see you guys in the next video. That's going to be it for this one. Hope you guys liked the deck. If you did, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the deck list down in the description below. And yeah, also be sure to join our community Discord tournament. It is this coming Saturday, so feel free, check out all the details. They'll all be down in the description of this video. Just click on the Limitless link and it'll take you right to the page where you can sign up and review all the information and everything like that. And yeah, be sure to let me know what you want to see in the next video, and I'll see you guys all next time. Peace.